How's it going, guys? So let's have a quick discussion about a Bellator, especially a Bellator main event. Okay, if you guys have seen Bellator 185, which is headlined by Giga Musasi versus Alexander Chilmenko, and okay. First of all, let me ask you, who do you pick to win that fight? Okay, tell me what you think in the comment section below. But me personally, I give it to Gegard. I realized that a lot of people, they gave it to Chimenko. It's just the fact that, to me, the fight was very, very close, and I give Giga Musasi the first round. And the second and third round, I thought was really close. And when it comes to 50-50 rounds, me personally, I tend to give one round to each fighter. So that after that being said, I give Gegard 2-1 as the winner. Okay, guys, I realize that's not the best way to judge it, but honestly, that's what I did. But however, going into this fight, going into this match, I was under the understanding that this was going to be a 5-round fight. And you know what, guys? The reality of the situation is that if this was a 5-round fight, I honestly believe that Chimenko was going to finish out Gegard. I mean, he busted his eyes, his left eye, left or right, but regardless, he busted up his eye in the first round. And then the next 2 rounds, Giga was essentially, I believe that he's fighting on instinct. He's fighting with one eye, and I just don't see him lasting another 2 rounds if this was a 5-round fight. So yeah, so in a way, I kind of believe that. Well, I don't want to say lucky, because, well, that's how the rules set up. That's how the main event is set up. A 3 instead of 5-round fight. And just recently, Scott Coker, he went on the MMAfighting.com, MMA Fighting with Ariel Hawani, and the question was asked by Ariel, is that will there be a chance will Bellator would ever go to a 5-round main event? And Scott replied, to me, it doesn't quite make sense. It's just the fact that, okay, Scott says, he said that if Bellator was going to go to a 5-round main event, they cannot go back. Why not? Why can't they go back? I mean, they're doing it right now for the title fight, and for a you know, I don't like to say this word, but for the younger fighters and the fighter that's in their prime, they could do it. But for an older fighter, let's say like the Legends fighters or Fun Fight, they could do it a 3-round fight. But however, that doesn't make that much sense either. So my question to you is that where is the middle ground? Where is the middle ground between a 3 and a 5-round fight? I realize that we cannot have a 4-round fight. It's just the fact that I think that there's too much of a draw. Cause, well, like when I say draw, I don't mean like attendance wise. I mean the odds of a fighter winning 1 round each, 2 round each, it will occur more often. Okay. So, what is the proper solution? Mine would be, this is mine. You guys tell me what you think in the comment section below. But to me, my solution would be 5-round fights for all main event. But however, during their tentpole event, which features older fighters or Legends fighters, let's say Fedor, Chael Sonnen, Vanderlei Silva, or even, you know what? In my opinion, Chuck Conco, he's an older fighter as well. He's another one of those individuals that has a lot of wear and tear on him. So yeah, like those kind of guys, I see no problem for them having a 2-round fight. Just okay guys, the reality of the situation is that these guys, they are older fighters, and let's be honest. Okay guys, let's be honest with me. Why do we as the audience continue to watch these fights? Okay, let's be honest. Okay, I will tell you mine. I continue to watch this fight for essentially just nostalgia, because it takes me back. I realized that Vanderlei, Fedor, Chael Sonnen, these two guys, these two guys in general, they are, well, come on, they cannot compete at the elite level. But however, I have been growing up. I've been watching these guys for over 15 years, since the day of Pride, since the purchase of Pride to the UFC, and even with them to purchase the Strikeforce with UFC, and even the merger of the WEC with UFC as well. But however, these guys, they're no longer within the UFC for Reebok, for money, and that they cannot compete at that level anymore. And the fighters that's in Bellator right now, these guys, they could definitely, like the elite of Bellator, they could absolutely 100% compete with the UFC best. Perfect example. Okay, this is my example. Ryan Bader, he was from the UFC, and now it's Bellator, right? He could go back to UFC and beat him. And then I'll say Michael Chandler defeating Ben Henderson. Before Ben Henderson came to Bellator, he was on a tear. He was on a 3-5 winning streak at welterweight. And Mike Chandler destroyed him. Come on, guys. If you guys seen that fight, he made Ben Henderson look bad. And Ben Henderson's record in Bellator, he's 1-3. 1 once, 3 loss. And this is a former UFC champion. And this is a guy, before he left the UFC, he was tearing it up. And the other one is Lawrence Larkins. Okay, he was tearing up the field as well at welterweight. He beat Jorge Masvidal. He beat I believe Donald Cerrone. Then he went to Bellator. Boom, he lost. Just like that. And I believe that the person that's been doing the most, that's the most successful, which is a former champion, that's from a former UFC champion that had moved over to Bellator, is, of course, it's well, not of course, but yes, it is. It's oh my goodness, I am drawing a blank. How can I draw a blank right now? I just thought about this guy. Oh my goodness, this is frustrating. Okay, Tito Ortiz. Wow, that took a while. It was Tito Ortiz. He left the UFC on something ridiculous like 1-6 or 1-7, and then he went to Bellator. He's like 3-1. The only loss the only person that he lost to was their champion. He fought for a title in Bellator. Okay, and the other things that the three other guys that I've mentioned, and now I've like that 3 more that should be competing, that's still a draw, that's still under contract with Bellator. They are, of course, Tito Ortiz. I realized that he is retired, but he's been hinting that he wants to come back. And then there's Royce Gracie. He's still competing, which is ridiculous. Like, what is he doing? And the other one is Randy Couture. I realized that these guys are these guys are their title. They are Bellator ambassador, But however, these guys are legendary fighter as well. So for these guys, have them do a three round fight. Oh yes, and then there's one more. Marco Krokov. Okay, Marco Krokov, he competed at 2015 recent Grand Prix open weight tournament, and he won. He won it. And the other thing with Krokov is that with Bellator and Risen is that Krokov as a talent, he is able to compete in both organizations. It's just the fact that Bellator and Risen, they have this agreement, this sharing of a talent agreement. So he could be another guy that they could bring back to Bellator and have him compete, not for a title, but he is still a draw, and have him compete at the 3-round fight as well. Okay guys, thanks for listening. So that is my quick thought on Bellator having a 3 or 5 round main event. Tell me what you think in the comment section below. And before you go, if you have not, please comment, rate, and subscribe, and tell me what you think. And just join the conversation. I'm hearing something. Maybe it's just in my head. Okay guys, today's Thursday, and starting this Monday, today is Thursday, August 26th, and starting this Monday, which is, what's that, 6, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, which is the 30th, I am starting this new segment. It's called MMA Bros Morning Chat, which I will discuss the topic from the previous day, from the previous 24 hours, and I will be releasing it every Monday morning at about 7 a.m. Mountain Time. And yeah, so tune in. Okay guys, so that's enough of me. Take care, thank you for listening, and I will talk to you soon.